So we're on page Tafresh Yud Ches, and we're going to read across the top and pick up this idea that he came to yesterday. Now, the question was, I think, what's Hodu doing here? What does Hodu do? You say the Kaddish, then what's happening? I thought that was what the question is. Of V'zeru B'Tavin, Shisha Heichelos Atachtonis the Sea, but that's what's happened. So they incorporated the Zat, they say the lower six spheros, he says. Get incorporated that the Batikun the tefillah as we're going through the tefillah sheyesh min chaskalos of tefillah ad hodu. So from that period right there, keniska the ale that all that congealing of all of those coming together into oneness is happening during that period of time of the karbanos. As on the tzrich and the alos of some, then what we have to do is we have to elevate them. So Amud Echod in the secret. There's a little question here about what this meant. I looked it up. He doesn't have much down below. He said, he says, Basod Amud Echod. So we have this concept of there's a column here. What is it? How does this column work? This is an elevator concept kind of idea. So he said, V'sheyesh ben kol olam that you have between every olam, there is some kind of a column, which is a chute or shaft. Not only that, but it runs through the centers of all of the hechelos. The path of this amad, olu kol hechel v'hechel b'chivero, each one joins together with its previous one, shalamala that's up above it, the nichlal bok and nizkir b'parshas Pekudei, it's over there in the Zohar in Parshas Pekudei. So he said, the Kaddish hazeku bechidas amud hanizkar. So the secret of this Kaddish here is the secret of that middle, that column that runs through the middle of all of the olomos. Or he says over all of the hechelos, ashecha be'emsos olam, which are in the middle of olam. One more, he said, va'amdam over ma'al also about olam yitzira, the way they move up. Kavarnis boyer yesh abekadish shtei bechinos, and this is what he just dropped this idea in here of Esrim b'shmona of 20, the idea of 28 shtei bechinos are b'shtaim. There's two bechinos of each, and this is actually the method by which they go up. I'm going to read the light print here on number Reish Nun Tes. Let's get it over here. There it is. He said, so the two times of these 28, now, I just wanted to go through this part. Maybe I can have success with this and have this idea myself. So as a Kavanah, B'Shevet Teves Yehei Shmei Rabba B'Vorach L'Olam L'Olam L'Maya, in that phrase, this is our big phrase, everybody joins together with saying this. We're all saying there are 28 letters in this phrase. Yehei Shmei Rabba. So this is a koach, I'm using that word koach, but it is a 28 that has a power to move things up. V'gam yesh koach tevos. Then there's another place where there's 28 words. That's also using the Hei Shmei Rabba B'Vorach L'Olam L'Olamaya. But then you go on where it says V'yisborach, V'yishtabach, V'yispor, V'yisomam, V'yisnaseh. Now this, I think in all kinds of congregations is said by the Baal Kaddish. So he said the Chazan, whichever would be V'yispor, V'yisroma, V'yisnaseh, V'yishadar, V'yisalev, V'yisalal, Shemed Kudsha B'richu. He says the whole thing out. Leila min kol birchasav, V'shirasav, Tushbechasav, V'nechamasav, Da'amiran, V'alma, V'imru, Amen. So like that. So you're going to wind up with, forget the main part, because he puts that separately. And so let's see, the Amar B'Imra Amen. So let's see, Alma, so I'm sorry, I got lost just a little bit. I apologize. We're on the column here on the right side. Let me just pull back here. You can see it. There we go. So here we have two koachs, one in the word Yehei Shmei Rabba, that's 28 letters, and then you have that same phrase, but continuing on his 28 words. He says what? That particular phrase, this the kavanah that one should have when you hear this, is that what you're doing is you're what? We congeal, we condense them into together. The Haida Shehem Amnam Nisharna Berasiya, now they are still Nasiya. Akal Yaser Beki Beofen Shanahi Olim Lachagat Olachabad. So everything would be in the top, would all be in the Chabad. V'chatam shebekoich osios the Yehei Shmei Rabba Yehei Shmei. The reason why the 28 letters I saw in Yehei Shmei Rabba Ma'alim Dafka as a Shisha Heichel as the Tachtonis. Why does it bring just? Does it mean to say just that up? Who? He says what? Kevin shebechinas as osios, because the concept of the osios he begavura. Now this is I can understand that, because the lights that on the other side of the letters are like an interface. And so on the other side of that is a much higher level of light. It has to be condensed, and it's a Gevura. So I haven't heard that said before exactly. So let's see, we'll look a little more closely. This is a Kavan, Shebechidas Osius He Begevura, Lefichuch Kocham Cholosh. So therefore, they're going to have a weaker power. Koach is the 28 that we're talking about here. Let's see what it says. Yecholim la'alos rock as a shisha hechelos atachtonis levad. But since they're gevura, whereas they might have said what if they would have been a chesed, they would have had that problem. Which that they wouldn't have had that problem. Which I think he might say. So he says. So it goes like this. He says, "This is what I want you to know." I'll read the Black Prince too. He says, "Kaniska kanoida be'inyan shem av," like we know in regards to the name Av. Sheyesh b'chav tevim v'raya osius. It has 26, 20. Where are we? It has. He's talking about the names of 72. They have 72 different words, and raya osius, and 3 times 72 is 216. Now let's see. Shem av yotzim mishlosha pesukim shel v'yisa v'yiva v'yet haniskaim b'parshas v'shalach. Shebekol echad bechem yesh av osius, because each one of them has, in fact, within it 72 letters. So he says those pasuk, each one of the pasuk, if you ride them out, you'll see that. V'shem av noitlem esa osa rishon shel pasuk v'yisa. So he's telling you how we construct the 72 letters. V'esa osa akram shel pasuk v'yava. V'esa osa rishon shel pasuk v'yet. So this actually is this makes this name Vav K Vav. V'chein al zehaderic, you start going down the line with all the rest of them like that. Osa b'shar b'osius the pesuka and the niskarim b'osim shehem naasim av tevos. In this way, it makes 72 different words. Shebekol tevach shlosha osius v'hem av shemos kadoshim. So these are 72 holy names. Va'av Teves shebekol achash shlosh osios. So there's a holy name, the Av Shemo. There's 72 names, and these 72 names shebekol achash shlosh osios. Each has 3 letters. He just spells it out again, and it makes this concept of raya. Now, what was he said before? Kanoda be'inin shem av sheyeshbo av tevim. That wasn't the one I was looking for. Called bechinas osios heim begevura. That's the part that I was concerned about. Where this idea came in that the letters are in Gevura. And as a result, he wants to say that they're not that strong and they can only affect the 6 lower spheros. I think that's what he said. Shehem Gematria Gevura. So if you figure out the Gematria of Gevura, it's also the Gematria of Raya. This is a transition between 372s, which are 72 is the word chesed. You can say that in a minute. He said, but you're converting it to a certain extent into a raya, which is when 3 times 72 makes the word gevura. So he said, "V'rayo osius sheyesh ba'av shemos heim olim begematria k'mispar gevura." So that's what we said. Above mispar tevos shem av heim olim begematria k'minyan chesed. It's a little bit of contradiction amongst itself. So what is it? It's a chesed, within the gevura. The Kevishah Osios Haim Kamis Begavura, since the letters actually come to the Gematria Gevura, but Tevos Haim Gematria Chesed, and so you have these 2 corresponding ideas. Kena Koach Osios Haim Begavura Kochan Cholosh, and that's the reason why it's always a mixture. It's not as powerful as it would be because it's always mixed with the 72s, which are Chesed, Chosadim, Chesed. Because Hakavanot Ana Ma'alim Rak as the Shisha Hechelos Atachtanim Bilvad. So he explains there why it is that it's not that powerful, so it could only work to be Ma'ala or condense. I thought the word was condense better. Of the lower six and make them into everything into the Chabad. So Tevos, now you take these 72 words, Shehem Bechesed, and it turns out that the 72 words which spell out the word Chesed, turns out that the Chesed is going to be Godel than the Gevur, the Fichoch Ana Ma'alam Al Yadam as a Heichel Shviha Elyon. So therefore, so therefore, through those 72 words themselves, the words, so you get into words, that's where you can elevate the seventh Heichel. Now, I'm not sure I really quite understood that. He said that he's playing around with the chesed aspect of the 216, which is the word Gevurah, really weakens the Gevurah. So I hear that he said that. Then he says that then you have a concept of the 72 words themselves. So this is because it's a chesed, I guess. He's saying it's ma'ala es heichel hashvi v'al yedei koach tevos shehem b'chesed, which make chesed. V'kocham godar ben the gevur. So therefore they're not weakened in any way. The fichoch ana ma'alam al yadam es heichel hashvi elyon. So this allows the seventh heichel to come up. Because it's called by that name. So it's called Kodesh Kedash because everything else is in there now. The Chagad and the Nai moved up into that place. So then he says the V'koach HaKoach Teves Shebechesed. So from the power of the 28 words in Chesed, Shebechesed, Ana Ma'ala Lamalo Ela Yitzira, we are able to bring up everything into Yitzira. Now he's talking about those 28 words. I believe he went back to talking about the Hey Shmei Rabbah, etc., as it comes out to 28. So he says that 28 is a Ma'ala Ela Yitzira. We're able to bring this all up into Yitzira of the Esa Heichel Hashvi Shuhu Heichel Kodegadashim. Batam Adavar Shehem Hashisha Hechelos Vehem Hechelos Hashviz Elyon. So let's go over this. The Tam Hadavar Shehem Hashisha Hechelos. Whether we're talking about this, Vehem Hechel Hashviz Elyon, Olim Davka Al Yedera Bekoach Ozios. It is this particular power that allows them to go up the Koach Tevos. So you understand you have 28 words. That whole Hey Shmei Rabbah right in the middle of the Kaddish is big time power. So he said, "B'zecha b'shum shekol ha'aliyos sheyesh b'cholomos heim rak al yedecha kavan l'shem mab." And he says this. So he comes around to this now. It's really the name Mab that really has the ability to do only one thing. V'zecha b'shem shel Mab hulo hamala as mini aliyos. It's the koach. He says there's a koach in it. He says it's the koach that's ma'alar is called minir aliyos sheyesh b'kol olamos. V'kevet she'Hashem Mab hu ola ve'eno yared. So he says this is a fact about Mab. Mab goes up, does not go down. Leficha kolcho yafa. So therefore it has a real strength power. La'alos as kol aliyos she'olamos al yonah the bedrekas yosegavoa. So he said, this is what, so he says, Kniska B'Parshas Truma, and this is the Gemara, this is the Zohar rather, he says, Shem Demab Asvon, the name of 42 letters, right? Who delay, the Rosa delay, its secret is the delay, Avchan Dekar Misatrin Ba'alma Ilor. Now, I guess Avchan, I thought it must have been the fathers, I guess he means it, I'm not sure what he means. Delay avhan the call misatrin ba'al marilor, that the I guess it means at the top, the avhan. We'll see what he means. So this has the power to bring one up into the alma, which is up above it, into a deeper state of hiddenness, really, of the light. So and the next one up above that one. So he says, Svarach, it says, Salko Rosa, the Ela, so the secret goes up and up and up, The is atra be'ain sof, until it grounds itself on the Ein Sof, so to speak. That's the idea over there. But this is the idea of the name 42. Valdo salik below nochis, and this is the thing. It goes up, but it never goes down. And it grounds itself. Now look at the word. He says it grounds itself in the upper thought, which is apparently, it grounds itself on the, I would think, to my definition, of the upper kavana, of really where the whole thing starts, which is a machshava. So he says, so happy is the purpose person, the purpose, the portion of a man, the Yada Ad Kan Lashona, that knows this and is careful about it. So here we are learning a very big time secret in elevating the Olamos. So he says, V'hakoach v'chaniskarim kan. So that 28 we're talking about here, Sheyesh b'kadish heim ramazim al shem kavayad the milui alofim shuch avayad the ma. So again, he said the koach that we're mentioning here, we use the formation, the foundation, I guess, of the Havaya Dema. Shem Havaya the Milui Alofim Hu Begematria Mas. It just says something we know. Shem Havaya Pashut, so the name Havaya in a Pashut state. Yeshbo Arba Osis of Milui, which he shows you the Milui there. Yeshbo Eser Osis, it's at 10, now you've got 14. Of a milui, and he shows it to us down below here again. Yeshbo esrim b'shmona osir. So this is the whole play here. V'chavapash v'ramale kulam yachdav olimab osius, and this is the fundamental root, I guess, of the concept of 42. But when you're dealing at the bottom end of that play, which is the Pashat and the Mali and the Mali has 28 letters in it. So we see that also the 20 letters of the Milui Heim Chelek Mishem Shal Mab. It's a portion of this mob, not to forget that. So there's actually how do you get it? It's actually, I guess, building together, grafting together. Min hapasha sheyesh b'cho arba osios, and min hamale sheyesh b'cho eser osios. That's 14. Min hamale demale sheyesh b'cho koach osios v'yachdav heim mab. So again, we'll stop right here. We'll go to the Sifra Tzniuta and see if we can get into the Sifra Tzniuta and learn something over there. How much time we got? Oh, well, okay, well, we'll learn something, and we'll do the best we can. Today is the 13th. This is 13th of Tish. Okay, let's get out the other one, and let me see what I could do here.